Today, based on information developed by that investigation, a Fulton County grand jury returned a true bill of indictment, charging 19 individuals with violations of Georgia law arising from a criminal conspiracy to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in this state.
A few moments later.
What is your current relationship with the district attorney?
Just as outlined earlier, we are great friends. We speak regularly.
Just to clarify, when did the romantic relationship between the two of you start?
Yeah, so, we get into, there's been this effort to say that, okay, these exact dates are at issue, and these exact dates are, I'm getting signaled here. No, then we
Yeah, take it. You want to go off mic for a second?
Yes.
Okay. Go off mic for a second.
And here we go. A Georgia Court of Appeals has disqualified the Fulton County DA, Fani Willis, from that election interference case. It's coming down right now.
Imagine going after Donald Trump in one of the biggest RICO cases of the decade, only to get caught up in your own real-life episode of scandal, except this one can cost you your entire career, your job, and your future income. That's Fani Willis, Fulton County's district attorney. She wanted to be the hero. She wanted to lead the charge. She wanted to be the one who finally held Trump accountable and responsible. But now, she's disqualified from the case, her reputation is trashed, and she's staring down a storm of investigations and potential disbarment. Even worse, she can lose millions in future legal income if she's removed, sued, and stripped of her license. And thanks to Governor Brian Kemp signing a law to revive the Prosecutor's Attorney's Qualification Commission, she has a real chance of being booted for misconduct. This commission has the power to investigate, discipline, and even remove district attorneys, and it was designed for moments like this. Fani is now a prime target, and Kemp just gave her enemies the legal tools to come after her. So yeah, she's not just facing embarrassment, she's in a career-crushing, wallet-burning, legacy-destroying trouble. So how did Georgia's top prosecutor end up in the same kind of legal fire that she was aiming at Trump?
I make decisions in this office based on the facts and the law. The law is completely nonpartisan. That's how decisions are made in every case.
Before we get into that, let me put you on something important. If you're 65 or older or helping your parents with Medicare, listen close. Most folks don't compare plans and could end up spending way more than they should. That's why I partner with Chapter. They review every single Medicare plan out there, over 24,000, to help you find what truly fits your needs. You'll speak to a real human being, not a robot. The call is completely free, and seniors who have worked with Chapter have saved over $1,100 a year on average. Call Chapter today at 262-454-0419. Again, that's 262-454-0419. I've also dropped the number below in the description and pinned it in the comments. No pressure, just honest help. Now let's get into it. Okay, so let's provide some quick context to the Fani Willis. She made national headlines when she charged Trump and 18 others with a massive racketeering case tied to Georgia's 2020 election. She pulled out the big guns, RICO laws usually used for mafia bosses. She tried to look fearless, she tried to look focused, kind of like if Olivia Pope went to law school and actually followed the rules. But while she was out there trying to make Trump sweat, she was apparently cozying up with a man named Nathan Wade, the very same dude that she hired as a special prosecutor. The problem is, this is where things get slimy. Fani hires Nathan Wade to help take down Trump. He's billed the county over $650,000 for his work. Okay, expensive, sure, but maybe he's just that good. Well, it turns out that Nathan and Fani wasn't just co-workers, they were allegedly in a whole relationship. A romantic relationship, trips to Napa, cruises, first-class vibes, all funded by the same money taxpayers were giving him to prosecute the case. So naturally, people got really annoyed and started asking questions. Questions like, did Fani hire her boyfriend to a six-figure gig so they could both eat off the system? And more importantly, can she legally stay on this case if she had that kind of conflict of interest? That's why the judge said, hey, either Wade goes or both of y'all are off this case. So Wade steps down. Crisis averted, right? No, not at all. Because even after Wade resigns, Fani is still not in the clear. The media starts digging deeper. Republicans in the Georgia legislature are circling like sharks. And Governor Brian Kemp, he sees an opening. So what does he do? He revives a little known group called the Prosecuting Attorneys Qualification Commission. That's a lot to say. Basically, it's a watchdog group with teeth. This commission now has the power to discipline or remove prosecutors for stuff like misconduct or abuse of discretion. And guess who they're looking at? Fani Willis. So things get worse for her. Some whistleblowers start coming forward saying that Willis may have steered contracts and her office had a whole culture of mismanagement. Remember that lawsuit I talked about in the last video that I made about her?
He told everybody in front of Crystal, Deontay, everybody, we're gonna get MacBooks, we're gonna do that, we're gonna get swag, we're gonna use it for travel. I said, you cannot do that. It's a very, very specific grant. Took me off. I questioned Junior DA because I questioned him. Because I knew for a fact, Mr. Cuffey respectfully did not know what he was doing, period.
So I respect that is your assessment. It was clear to me that you and Mr. Cuffey were not getting along. And I'm not saying that your assessment is wrong. I want you to.
So it was like, you know, I'm scared to lose my job. I have a whole family. We have a house. We have a mortgage. We have all of these things that we have to, you know, maintain. And so I'm scared. I made another complaint. And then on January 14th, I was fired 20 minutes after leaving the DCRC, having my third and final complaint with the DCRC.
So now it's not just her love life on trial, it's her leadership, her ethics, her entire reputation. And obviously Trump lawyers are probably loving this. So they're in court like, see, this case was rigged. Dismiss it. And the thing is, they might not be wrong. The Georgia Court of Appeals drops a bomb. They disqualify Fani Willis and their entire office from the Trump case. Not because she broke the law, but because the appearance of impropriety was just too strong. Translation, even if she didn't do anything criminal, she still blew the case optics so bad that the public won't even trust it anymore. So this is a ridiculously wild fall. She went from being the face of accountability to the poster child of how not to handle a high-profile prosecution. And remember, this is RICO we're talking about. You only get one shot at this. There's no redos, there's no takebacks. This decision could tank the entire case against Trump in Georgia. And if it does, the taxpayers in Fulton County might be on a hook for Trump's legal fees. I'm not exaggerating. So imagine being taxed so your county can pay Trump's lawyers because your DA sucks and she fumbled the whole situation. So this is how it's going to work. If the case gets dismissed due to Fani Willis's disqualification and deemed to have brought impropriety or in bad faith, Georgia law allows the defendants to seek reimbursement for legal costs. And in this case, as massive as Trump's RICO indictment, with high-power legal teams billing hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, this number could be astronomical. Now, Fulton County doesn't have a magical pot of gold to pay that kind of bill. That money comes straight out of the county's budget. We're talking public funds, money that should be going to schools, public safety, roads, infrastructure. And if you're wondering if this is all just a theory, Governor Brian Kemp signed legislation making it easier to pass these legal costs onto the taxpayers. It's not like a possibility anymore. It's actually on the table. So the real life consequences of Fani Willis's drama aren't just about the headlines or the scandal. It's about every Fulton County resident potentially footing the bill for a political and ethical disaster they didn't ask for. If the courts side with Trump's team, residents could watch their tax dollars get funneled into the pockets of some of the very lawyers working to keep Trump out of jail. It's the kind of outcome that makes people lose faith in everything, especially if you're in Fulton County. I don't know how much the taxes are, but imagine paying because Fani Willis effed everything up. I'm assuming the taxpayers will not be too friendly with Fani Willis if she continues to be district attorney. So what's the fallout? Fani Willis is still technically the DA for now, but between the court disqualification, the ethics investigations, and the political storm circling her office, she is basically radioactive. And the pressure is not just local because national people are jumping in. Obviously, the Trump supporters are celebrating. Even folks who may have liked her work before, they're thinking, yeah, this looks pretty bad. Meanwhile, Governor Kemp's got his commission and they're ready to pounce. The Georgia State Senate is already talking about subpoenas. Some folks are even calling for her to quit. And here's the really interesting thing. Fani Willis, who loves to talk and loves to throw out speeches, she has basically gone silent. No press tour, no apologies, no accountability, just sitting around, I guess, waiting for the subpoenas to come through. Fani Willis tried to take on one of the most powerful men in the country, but her personal decisions might have completely derailed the entire case. She tried to become the hero of the people trying to handle Trump and possibly just handed Trump a get out of jail free card. Not because of bad lawyering, but because of bad judgment. Hiring your own boyfriend to work on the most high profile case in modern Georgia history, that's not bold, that's pretty dumb. Now the entire justice system in Georgia is now feeling the ripple effects. Trump's charges could be tossed, taxpayers could eat the bill, and Fani Willis could lose her job. And even her law license. This is an epic fall from grace. So I have to ask the question, was it all worth it? Was the relationship, the risk, and the recklessness worth sabotaging a case that could have changed history? I mean, who knows what actually was going to happen, but it didn't start well. So we'll see what happens in her situation. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you think that Fani Willis is going to be able to get her way out of this one. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And we're getting close to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Join our growing community as we take on a lot of these really, really corrupt and ethically silly individuals as they do what they do, repeatedly making these colossal mistakes and trying to take advantage of people. This is the kind of content that we talk about on this channel. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe. We got the Patreon and the email newsletter all in the description box below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.